Right then, Blades family, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, smash that subscribe button and join thousands of United fans getting the latest news first. Like the video, ring that notification bell, and let's get stuck into what's been happening at Bramall Lane. Today's update is absolutely essential viewing. We're covering 3 massive stories that will shape Sheffield United's season and honestly, your mood for the next few weeks. Trust me on this. First, Chris Wilder's been absolutely honest about where we are, and his conversation with Tom Cannon has revealed something troubling about our big money signing. Second, we're heading to face Coventry City, the league leaders, and they're looking absolutely terrifying. This season, Wilder's made a telling comment about what's needed. Third, the manager's dropped a bombshell about consequences for players, and it signals a shift in how he's handling things at the club. 3 stories, 1 update, 18 to 25 minutes of pure Blades insight. Let's go. Listen, when we signed Tom Cannon from Leicester City back in January, we thought we'd found our man, a young English striker with pace, physicality, and proven championship pedigree. £10 million, potentially rising to £12 million with add-ons. This was supposed to be the missing piece in our promotion push. But here's the thing, and this is what makes this story so concerning. Chris Wilder has now sat down with Cannon and had honest words. And it's not pretty, right? Let's rewind for a second. Cannon joined us from Leicester City in the winter window. Before that, he'd been lighting it up at Stoke City, 11 goals in 25 games on loan. The stats looked incredible. The manager's analysis looked sound. Everything suggested this was a smart piece of business. But fast forward to now, and it's been anything but straightforward. Cannon scored just 1 goal since arriving at Bramall Lane. 1 in however many appearances he's had. You're thinking, surely that's a joke, but no. The £10 million striker has struggled to make an impact. He got starts against Blackburn Rovers and Preston North End, his old loan club, no less in, and he came off the bench in other matches. But when it came to Saturday's match against Derby County, Wilder made a telling decision. Cannon didn't even make the squad. Not injured, not illness, a straight selection choice. And that's where this story gets interesting. Wilder's just revealed what he said to Cannon. Here's the direct quote. Tom Cannon agrees that he has not done enough to justify his place in Sheffield United's squad. Think about that for a second. The player himself has admitted it. Wilder's been in conversations with him, and Cannon's accepted responsibility. When a player earning big wages says to his manager, "I haven't done enough," you know there's a reality check happening. Wilder confirmed that the decision to leave Cannon out, along with lone player Louis Barry, was purely tactical, not medical. Not circumstantial. Tactical. That's a massive statement when you've got a £10 million investment sat on the bench. What made it even more interesting was who replaced them. Ryan One got his chance as a substitute, and then there was Christian Nwachukwu, Nigerian striker who'd barely featured before, also getting a spot on the bench. That tells you something about where Cannon stands in the pecking order right now. And here's the thing, this isn't just about one player being out of form. It goes deeper than that. The system, the pressure, the expectations, it's all contributing to a situation that could spiral if it's not handled correctly. So what does Cannon's struggle mean for Sheffield United? Well, it's significant. We're fighting relegation. Every match is crucial. Every point matters. And we've invested £10 million in a player who's supposed to give us an edge in the final third. If he's not delivering, that's a problem on 2 counts. First, it's points on the pitch. We're not scoring enough goals. That's been painfully obvious. If your big signing isn't contributing, your attacking options become limited. You're relying on Kiefer Moore, on Campbell, on other players to carry more of the load. That's unsustainable. Second, it's psychologically damaging. When fans see a £10 million striker sitting out, it raises questions. Questions about recruitment. Questions about whether Wilder got this one wrong. And in the 10th season, that kind of uncertainty filters through the entire squad. The injury situation hasn't helped Cannon. To be fair, he's had issues staying fit since arriving, but ultimately, he's got to find a way to make an impact when given the chance. And right now, he's not doing that. What does it mean for January? Well, Wilder mentioned that he'd like more options tactically come the transfer window. That could mean Cannon gets another chance to prove himself, or it could mean the club's already thinking about alternatives. Here's what I want to know, and I'd genuinely love to hear your thoughts on this one in the comments. Do you think Tom Cannon can turn this around at Sheffield United, or has his time already run out? Can a 22-year-old bounce back from this? Or is this one of those signings that's just not going to work? Be honest. Comments down below. If you've got thoughts on Cannon's situation, share them. This conversation's important because it shows how seriously Wilder's taking accountability. And honestly, that's something we need to see from our players right now. Like the video if you think Cannon deserves another chance. Let's see where the comments go on this one. Right then, let's tie this together. We've covered 3 massive stories this week, and they all point to the same thing. Sheffield United is at a critical juncture. Story 1. Tom Cannon admitted he hasn't done enough. Our big money signing is struggling, and Wilder's made the tough call to drop him. That's accountability, but it also shows where we are desperate for goals and options. Story 2. We're about to face the best attack in the championship at Coventry City. Frank Lampard's side have turned heads this season, and we're coming into this match in poor form defensively. It's going to be a challenge, might even be a battering, but it's also a chance to show character. Story 3. Chris Wilder's issued a warning. Mistakes will have consequences. Standards will be enforced. Players will be held to account. That's the message from the gaffer, and it suggests we're about to see significant changes in team selection and approach. So here's what happens next. Tuesday night at Coventry is absolutely crucial. The result might define whether this season's salvageable or whether we're heading toward a real crisis. That's not hyperbole. That's just where we are. Behind all these stories, there's a manager trying to instill discipline, a club trying to survive, and a fan base desperate for positive news. That's why I make these videos. That's why this channel exists. Because Sheffield United matters to thousands of people, and you deserve honest analysis and upgrades. If you've got this far, you're a real one. So please, subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next update. Like this video if you think Wilder's got the right approach, and in the comments actually engage. Tell me what you think about Cannon. Tell me your prediction for Coventry. Tell me whether Wilder's being too harsh or not harsh enough. This is a community channel. It's built on your feedback, your passion, your love for this club. Next week, we'll be breaking down the Coventry result, previewing the next fixture, and diving into whatever the latest news is from Bramall Lane. Because it's never boring being a Sheffield United fan, is it? Right. That's it from me. Keep your head up, Blades. We'll get through this together. Subscribe, like, comment, share. Come on, you United Blades. Right? This final story is about a shift in tone at Sheffield United. Chris Wilder's not messing about anymore. He's issued a clear warning to his squad. Mistakes are going to have consequences. And the way he's framed it, the specificity of what he's said, suggests things are about to change at Bramall Lane. Let's go back to that derby match for a moment, because it's the catalyst for everything Wilder said this week. Sheffield United won Derby County 3-0 at home on Saturday in front of our supporters. It wasn't a close match. It wasn't a tactical battle where we came up short against a better team. It was sloppy. It was careless. It was mistakes compounded by more mistakes. Derby were efficient, absolutely clinical in front of goal, but we made it easy for them. We gave them gifts. We handed them opportunities. The first goal came from an individual error, City Peck losing Morris. The second goal came from another individual error, Peck losing Morris again after halftime. These aren't tactical problems. These aren't systems failing. These are players not doing their jobs. And when Wilder was asked about it in his press conference, he didn't hide from it. Here's what he said. You receive a task to perform, you need to execute it. If you don't fulfill it, there will be consequences. That's direct. That's clear. That's a manager drawing a line. He went on, if a player makes one mistake, does he come out of the team? No. But if it's costing you in certain situations, if it's affecting the team in specific moments, then we have to address it. And this is the key part. Wilder's not talking about benching players for one error. He's talking about patterns. He's talking about repeated failures. He's talking about decisions that cost the team. Peck wasn't immediately dropped for losing Morris once, but getting beaten twice by the same player in the same match. With his side already under pressure, that's when consequences kick in. Wilder also said, the second goal is ridiculous. We're trying to gain momentum. I'm baffled. Losing by 3. We gave them a goal as a gift first, and we definitely gave them the second. He's not mincing words here. He's calling out his own players publicly. That's a significant step. But it's not just about the derby match. Wilder's been reflecting on the bigger picture. He talked about a broader lack of discipline and focus. We suffer 6 goals and try to win a football match that's not acceptable. We can't miss good chances when the scoreline's close. We can't be this careless. He's also emphasized that responsibility doesn't just fall on the players. The responsibility is on everyone, on the coaches, the backroom team, and the players. The power of the players is much greater than the power of the manager and coaches, if they do it right. But then he added, I know what I'd be doing. What I already have done as a player, I'd be taking responsibility. We've lost the football matches that we should have taken points from, and we can't afford to let results slip through our fingers. That's a manager who's frustrated. Frustrated that his message isn't getting through. Frustrated that discipline is slipping. Frustrated that basics are being forgotten. And the thing is, Wilder's got a history of backing players, of creating a supportive environment, of building teams with character. But there's a limit, and it sounds like we're reaching it. So what are these consequences going to look like in practice? Well, Wilder's already started. Tom Cannon and Louis Barry got dropped for the Derby match. That's a consequence for underperformance. You'd expect we'll see more of this. Players who don't meet standards get less game time. Players who make careless mistakes get dropped from squads. The pecking order shifts based on performance and application. It's not a new approach for Wilder. He's always been someone who demands standards. But it feels like he's decided he's had enough of the excuses. Because here's the reality. We're in a survival battle. Every point matters. Every match is a chance to climb the table or slip further down it. You can't afford passengers. You can't afford sloppy play. You can't afford individual errors that cost the team. Lampard's Coventry don't make those errors because every player knows the standard and lives it. Leicester don't because they've got a system that demands precision. That's what we're competing against. And at the moment, we're coming up short. There's another element to Wilder's warnings, and it's about attacking intent. He said, I think we were a bit too cautious, and this is a demanding crowd. We have to be brave and bold with it. You can't worry about playing it safe. You can't worry about making mistakes. Basically, Wilder's telling his players, don't just sit deep and hope we keep a clean sheet. Get forward, take risks, play aggressive football. It's a bit of a paradox. He's demanding fewer defensive mistakes while also demanding more attacking ambition. But that's the level of execution required at championship level when you're fighting for survival. You've got to be compact and organized defensively, but expansive and aggressive in attack. You've got to take calculated risks. And those who don't manage that balance, consequences. Here's what I want to know. Do you think Wilder's right to be getting tough now? Or should he be more patient given where we are in the season? Is this the wake-up call the squad needs? Or is it going to create negative energy? Have your say in the comments. If you think Wilder's approach is exactly what Sheffield United needs, let me hear it. And if you think he's being too harsh on players who are already under massive pressure, I want to hear that too. This is about building a community of Blades fans who care about the club and aren't afraid to have honest conversations. Like the video, comment, subscribe. Let's keep this going. Right then, let's tie this together. We've covered 3 massive stories this week, and they all point to the same thing. Sheffield United is at a critical juncture. Story 1. Tom Cannon admitted he hasn't done enough. Our big money signing is struggling, and Wilder's made the tough call to drop him. That's accountability, but it also shows where we are desperate for goals and options. Story 2. We're about to face the best attack in the championship at Coventry City. Frank Lampard's side have turned heads this season, and we're coming into this match in poor form defensively. It's going to be a challenge, might even be a battering, but it's also a chance to show character. Story 3. Chris Wilder's issued a warning. Mistakes will have consequences. Standards will be enforced. Players will be held to account. That's the message from the gaffer, and it suggests we're about to see significant changes in team selection and approach. So here's what happens next. Tuesday night at Coventry is absolutely crucial. The result might define whether this season's salvageable or whether we're heading toward a real crisis. That's not hyperbole. That's just where we are. Behind all these stories, there's a manager trying to instill discipline, a club trying to survive, and a fan base desperate for positive news. That's why I make these videos. That's why this channel exists. Because Sheffield United matters to thousands of people, and you deserve honest analysis and updates. If you've got this far, you're a real one. So please, subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next update. Like this video if you think Wilder's got the right approach, and in the comments actually engage. Tell me what you think about Cannon. Tell me your prediction for Coventry. Tell me whether Wilder's being too harsh or not harsh enough. This is a community channel. It's built on your feedback, your passion, your love for this club. Next week, we'll be breaking down the Coventry result, previewing the next fixture, and diving into whatever the latest news is from Bramall Lane. Because it's never boring being a Sheffield United fan, is it? Right. That's it from me. Keep your head up, Blades. We'll get through this together. Subscribe, like, comment, share. Come on, you United Blades.